Today we're going to talk a little bit about Disrupt, and then we're going to change gears and talk about iPhone 5. Everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. Welcome to iPad 365, the show where we look at apps to keep your iPad play. I have been in San Francisco all week for TechCrunch Disrupt. If you don't know what it is, I'll tell you about it in a second. First of all, I want to let you know my Twitter handle is iPad365. And of course, the email is iPad365show@gmail.com. You can go over there and check everything out. There's also the Facebook, facebook.com/iPad365. And then the website is iPad-365.com or geekazine.com will get you there too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about TechCrunch Disrupt. This is one of the most intense sessions that I go to, conferences that I go to, because the scenery changes daily. And when I'm talking about the scenery, I'm talking about the battlefield, the startup alley, where you have a line, you have 2 rows filled with companies that are starting out, they're launching on this day, and they're looking for seed money, and then 24 hours later, they're completely gone, and a new company's taken that table over. In fact, we basically 3 sets of tables down Startup Alley which go that way. It's amazing. Lots of programs, lots of ideas that come back, whether it be something for the PC, whether it be something for the iPhone or the iPad, something in development for the iPhone, the iPad, something that's in development that's not even PC related, maybe it's just a piece of hardware. A whole bunch of stuff. And then, of course, the speakers. I got to hear Kevin Rose speak. I got to hear Mark Zuckerberg speak. I was just in a session where I heard the founders of Twitter speaking, and a whole bunch more. Plus, of course, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and they had the hackathon, which I talked about on geekazine.com. The winners of the hackathon are also from Madison, Wisconsin, a company that they built here in San Francisco this last weekend called LiveBolt. They were with a company called Snowshoe. They use the Snowshoe technology to create LiveBolt, but it was a pretty cool method to unlocking doors, not keyless entry, basically, for your home, which is really cool. They just displayed their 90-second pitch, so they could actually win TechCrunch Disrupt. So I'm really hoping for them, keeping my fingers crossed. I'll know in about an hour. Of course, that'll have passed since recording this, so you can check that out. There were a lot of iPad games. There were a lot of iPad apps and a lot of iPad innovations. One of the finalists was a company called Heatmap, and this was more for mobile. It has to do with the iPad, but also does with the iPhone and Android phone. Basically, companies would put a piece of JavaScript code into their web pages, and it would track where people move around on a mobile device. So I've seen heat maps for regular mobile devices like a Windows PC or something like that, but I've never seen it for a mobile device, and that looked pretty interesting. I've also seen some other great iPad apps. In fact, we're going to show you a little bit of this interview, and basically what it is a way to swing your golf club better, and we're going to show that right now. All right, continuing coverage of TechCrunch Disrupt. Jeffrey Powers here. We're here with Jason from GolfSense, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you saw me swing the golf club. You saw Jason swing the golf club. And the reason why is this little thing right here on my hand. Not the glove itself, but that little dongle, I guess you could say, Bluetooth dongle right there. That shows you how to work your swing, correct?
Yeah, it has 4 motion sensors in it, 2 accelerometers, a gyro, and a compass. And our goal is to provide really helpful feedback around your golf swing.
Okay. So how accurate is this? Have you tested it against any other accelerometers or anything like that?
Yeah, it's very accurate. We have several people working on tuning our motion engine all the time. We have some pros that we're working with, and we test it all the time against industry standard equipment, KVS, Launch Finder, and many of these, TrackMan, those types of devices, and we're pretty darn accurate.
Well, that's cool. So this one's hooking up to an iPad. This is Bluetooth. So is it anything that has Bluetooth or just iOS devices?
Today we have our iOS apps available, iPad and iPhone, and of course works with the iPod Touch. Okay. And we have Android coming soon.
So basically, I could actually put this on my glove, put an iPod in my pocket, and actually analyze my swing as I go throughout the course, right?
Correct. You could, you can. Let me just fill up a swing here. Essentially, with your iPhone or iPod Touch, you can capture all of your swings through a round, or just go to the range and hit a bucket of balls.
And as you can see here, we see a little bit of it. You see the golf swing. You said that you can move around with it. You have
a three-dimensional motion capture, three dimensions. You can move in 360 degrees. You can see a swing trace here, or even a plane view. So you can see your backswing and your downswing plane. And then if you click on analysis at the top, you have even more data around club head speed, hand speed. And again, our goal is to provide helpful analysis, right? We're not going to do total swing analysis. There's a lot involved, hips, knees, ankles. But with this sensor and all the technology in our motion engine, you can get some really helpful stats and things to work on. You mentioned using the iPod Touch in your pocket. We do have a feature that if you're using an iPod Touch or an iPhone in your pocket, you actually use the accelerometer and gyro in those devices to measure your hip rotation during your swing.
Oh, so it's an addition right there.
In addition, yeah.
So do you have my swing data still in there? You did save that.
Yeah. This is actually your swing. It has my name at the top, just my account. Okay. But yeah, decent swing.
Yeah. Well, I did have a couple lessons. All right, what kind of funding are you guys looking for at TechCrunch?
So we're in the market today. We're in all the Apple stores in the U.S., Europe, and Canada. We're also at Best Buy and some golf channels. Okay. We've done all that with seed funding, with angel funding, and we'll most likely be looking to do a Series A or a larger round of funding here in the next few months.
Where can people go to find more information?
You can go to our website, golfsense.me, and we're lots of info there.
All right, well, there you go. Thank you very much, Jason. All right, things are winding down here, but before we go, there was something else that happened this morning, and that was Apple had a big announcement. And the big announcement was not only were they changing their iPods and their iPod Nanos, but they're also coming out with the iPhone 5. Now, I don't understand why they say iPhone 5. It's the 6th generation iPhone, should be iPhone 6. Neither here nor there. I'm surprised that Tim Cook even said iPhone 5, but apparently they're calling it iPhone 5, so that's what it is. Here's the deal. On Friday, September 14th, you can pre-order your iPhone 5. Really cool there. And of course, I'll be in flight when that happens, so if somebody wants to order me an iPhone 5, I'd appreciate it much. Anyway, so they'll also have the iPod Nanos and the iPod Touches. They're updating those. Those are going to get A5 chips, and everything. It looks like everything is going to get Siri, including the iPad. So that's got to be really exciting news with the new iOS 6, which they have announced. That was the big announcement for the iPad. iOS 6 is going to have Facebook integration. You'll be able to actually put in Facebook posts using Siri. Now that's pretty cool because if you're in an area that you cannot type, you can talk it in, and it can throw up on Facebook easily. You could probably do some quotes. If I'm doing an interview one-on-one, I could just pull up my Siri and just press the button, and then next thing you know, that's all been transcribed. So really excited about that. The iPhone 5, of course, was the big one. Of course, they're coming out with a new A6 chip, which is a lot faster than the iPhone 4S. I'm actually going to be getting the iPhone 5, the 32 gigabyte model, and the reason why is this. With this A6 chip, I'll be able to do a lot of video without having to take a big camera with me. It's not going to be the greatest video, but it'll still be enough video for me to actually use it. Some other things that I think they called it an 8-pin connector. I thought it was a 9-pin connector. Either way, they have a converter for you if you have the 30 pins. They're charging you for that. I really wish that Apple would just give it away for free, at least one away. It better have one in the box. And because I have so many iPhone cords, it's crazy. And of course, if you've got an iPhone dock and you get the new iPhone, that dock is pretty much useless. So I think Apple would actually gain more sales by giving away that connector. That's a personal opinion. I don't have any data on it, but I think that's what they should do. But anyway, the whole point is iPhone, it's a little bit bigger. It's a 4.5-inch screen. and just everything that we knew about. The Maps feature, Apple taking over and pretty much pushing Google out. Don't know if Apple Maps is native, which means you can't say, okay, I want Apple Maps or I want Google Maps. I want to choose between the two. I didn't hear that part, so we'll see what happens once Apple 5 comes out. Of course, it'll be in the stores on September 21st, so that's going to be pretty cool there. And I think that's pretty much it for the iPhone. What everything else you probably can read up on easily anywhere in the world. And that's this episode of iPad 365. My name is Jeffrey Powers. What'd you think? Did you like the announcements? What do you think of iOS 6? I can't wait to put it on my iPad. September 19th, I think, was the date that they said it's going to be available for you to download and put onto your iOS devices. So I can't wait to actually use Siri on my iPad. Let me know what you think, though. iPad365 is the Twitter handle. Of course, iPad365show@gmail.com is the email address. Well, that's it for me at TechCrunch Disrupt. You can check out all the videos over at geekazine.com. You know, I do have a YouTube channel over at youtube.com/geekazine. So you can check that out there, including iPad 365. There's a dedicated page for iPad 365, which you can get in the show notes there. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. We will see you next time on another episode of iPad 365. You guys geek out and take care. You should follow Graphite on Twitter @GraphiteINC.